listening to The Nasty Table, the premier source for tabletop role-playing actual play. Now come on in, relax, and pull up a seat to The Nasty Table. On the last episode of 12 Gauge...
Can we call these 2 episodes like Justin makes awkward conversation?
What are you rolling for? How good my human was, and I rolled a 24, so it's me.
I'm just letting them linger. Just mention Agent Parker in any setting.
Dunkin' Dog Nuts.
Dunkin' Dog Nuts. We can go talk to Samantha.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I want to help you guys, get to the bottom of this as much as I can.
You said remarkable. There's not been any real problems with him.
The last couple of months, he did request to work from home, which I did grant. Thomas had no reason to be there at night at all.
He was connected to that network when he was at home still?
He was, yeah.
Was
his login is T Meyer. You just have to make sure you're on the network. That's his password there.
For what it's worth, there's a great deal of confidentiality around this case.
Start this session with a conversation about how I feel about interviews and interrogations. I explained this to LFVCU one time where I'm like, when you're interrogating someone in Delta Green, it's like a boss fight in D&D, where if you take the time to like figure out where the pokes, where the prods are, what the weaknesses are, what the strengths are, you can prepare for that in advance. You can also prepare for like tactics where you're like, all right, that dragon, we'll be able to flank it and hit it with cold damage and do this, do that. Interrogations are the same way, where you can kind of set up like good cop, bad cop. Obviously, like those kind of cliches, they work, right? So I want you guys to know, at least all 4 of you, when I generate NPCs that I have a feeling are going to be interrogated or interviewed at any capacity, they have certain weaknesses and they have certain strengths. So, for example, just to peel back the curtain, Samantha Clemens she's a lot more helpful when you kind of respect her as a CEO, as a businesswoman, as someone who kind of, looks over a lot of people. She doesn't like any kind of attacks on her business and stuff like that. Whether or not you guys know that, obviously, is up to you guys, but those things play in, and all the NPCs that you guys have chances to interrogate are built like that. I build interrogations like boss fights. That's truthfully what I do, because I think that that's like the boss fight of Delta Green, is these interrogations, these interviews. So
I think that whole arrangement we have with her to do the third other company's information, that's like a loot drop we got.
Oh my God.
To help fight her in the future.
Well, it was absolutely massive, because if you...
Because know that she's at the end of the day, a fucking ruthless businesswoman.
Well, and you factor in the fact that she's a CEO, not only did she just lose what sounds to be like her golden goose but now she's worried that, this golden goose potentially might have, not leaked company information. Yeah, exactly. Like, might be selling his eggs on the side, and that's definitely weighing into her psyche. I thought that went really, really well, and I really liked our chemistry in the conversation. So thank you for that. I thought it was awesome.
I think it was great. I think the asking her about if he was agitated or anything might have brought up that like paranoia of like, oh, I didn't let him do his thing. Is he bringing it somewhere else to get it done?
Yeah, I don't know. I almost think there was some sort of subconscious like, did I give him too much leash?
Yeah.
Like, did I let him work from home because of what he's brought me in the past, but what was he doing? Like, was he, just doing his own independent research and giving me the crumbs? Meanwhile, he's giving all this good shit to other companies. Yeah. Who knows? And I think that might have been hitting her in real time.
Yep.
Like, oh shit, this person. Like, as we were asking those questions,
got our wheels turning.
We were almost like peeling shit back that it might have been in the back of her mind the whole time.
That she wasn't thinking about yet, but
it's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the last session. Let's get a recap.
Have you had, in any session, unbeknownst to me, just someone decide, like, I'm done with this?
Never. Not once.
Johnny's walking away.
Pierce is biting a 9 milli in 2 operas.
I have had... Ooh.
If anyone was close, that
Johnny
just
Walker
couldn't make
has
it
such
out.
an embarrassing conversation with an NPC. He kills himself afterwards.
I've had characters on the edge of like, am I in or am I out? and it's like this close, and I would let them be out, and they choose to stay in. That's fine. Actually, that's only happened once, and it was Mike Finn. Mike Finn's character, Agent Cash with a K. Cash is cold water. He was a meth junkie who was a biology student. He was the other doctor that I was talking about. And it was after we ran, I think we did 4 operas, and he was like, he hit his second breaking point, and he watched his mentor die, and he went to therapy, and and I was running Avery at the time as the case handler, and Avery said, listen, and it was complete honesty on my part, you can leave. And Finn said, no, I'm here until the end. He ended up dying at the end. So,
Damn.
As you do.
So, with half of G-Cell making their way out of Samantha Clemens' house, the other half prepares themselves for an interview with Ravenna Michelle's, the landlord believed to be renting to Thomas Meyer. The two of you, Gonzo and Garfield, find yourselves in the conference room in Tampa PD, preparing for this interrogation. At this point, it's 1:45, and I want to ask, what do you guys want to do? 15 minutes before she's supposed to show up.
So, to get as much information out of her as possible, I was planning to tell her that Mr. Meyer was involved in working for a terrorist organization, and that he's in our custody.
Maybe we should see if she knows if he's dead first.
I think that was already
We don't know
established. Oh, we're just assuming she doesn't know?
that. We're assuming she doesn't know.
She don't fucking know. But
Let's just, under the guise that she doesn't know, let's keep it that way.
and I was just going to say that we need information on him, and that's why we're looking into him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So that she doesn't, we're not giving away our case, and she
the
knows,
only other bits of
she knows it's
information-
dead serious.
The only other bits of information that I want to ask about is the restaurant underneath, and if she's kind of the owner-operator, or if she's leasing that part of the building out to somebody else.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm clear. I'll go wait out in the lobby for her if you want to hang out in here, and I'll introduce you.
All right.
Can I have a meta moment real quick?
No, you may not. You will mute your mic, and you will keep your mouth shut.
So small.
Yeah, hanging out in the lobby.
You make your way out to the lobby, waiting patiently. 1:45, 1:50, 1:55, 2 o'clock, 2:05, in walks a woman. Short crop of blonde hair. She's wearing, simple clothes. It looks like she's got like a white blouse that's tucked into black pants. She's wearing flats as she walks in. She approaches past you and towards the front receptionist.
I just kind of sit. I imagine there's like those benches, the cushioned benches.
Yeah.
And just sit there kind of glancing at either a paper or a magazine, whatever's around.
Okay.
Listening in,
and you can hear, I'm here to see Special Agent Hugo Clayton. And the guy behind the counter kind of looks up and then looks over at you.
And I kind of stand up and go, yes, hi, Ravenna.
And yes, hi, hello. She sticks her hand out.
And I shake it and I go, hi, Ravenna, I apologize for all the miscommunication there. Lots of information coming in right now and a couple schedules we had to make work. If you could follow me this way, I'd like to introduce you to my partner.
Sure, absolutely. She follows behind as you make your way to the conference room. Open it up to reveal Garfield sitting at... Where are you sitting on this conference table?
The head.
The head?
Fuck.
Copy.
The doors at the other end, and
the head with a capital H.
and I'm all the way down.
Uh-huh.
It's like you open the room and you wouldn't believe how far it looks like I am.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, I open the door and I kind of gesture towards Garfield and I go, Ravenna, this is Special Agent Knowles. Yeah, he'll be asking you a couple of questions. We have a couple of refreshments here. If I could interest you in any, I'm just going to take a couple notes and potentially jump in whenever something catches my attention.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. What is this in reference to?
Have a seat, Miss Michelle's. Don't worry. You're not in any trouble or anything. We promise. We just need some information from you, and This involves Mr. Maya. Unfortunately, he was caught up in some bad business.
And as you're talking, she pulls up a chair and like sits down.
Feel free to have a donut or something. Do you want a water? Are you all right?
I'm okay.
All right. Well, yeah, Mr. Maya, your tenant, he was involved with some shady people. So we're going to ask you some questions about your relation to him and just how much you can give us. We'd really appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you, miss. So, first of all, we just wanted to touch base about your restaurant, because when we were investigating Mr. Maya's house, it was quite disgusting in there.
You went into his house?
We did. We had to. It was part of our investigation.
Did you break anything?
No. Break anything?
The doors should be locked. Were they unlocked?
Yes, we just walked right in.
Oh.
Ravenna, if you don't mind me interrupting, when we were walking by, we did notice that the restaurant underneath was closed by a health inspector. Do you have, are you related to the business there, or is that kind of some...
Yes, I run the restaurant.
Do you have any information regarding the restaurant? Or the recent closure, I should ask. I know that the health inspector can be a little...
I don't want to talk about that. I don't think that has anything to do with
Look,
Thomas Meyer.
we weren't trying to get too far into your business. It was so disgusting in there. We thought that it might have seeped down into your place and caused it. We were trying to look out for you.
What do you mean disgusting?
There was bugs everywhere.
Did you enter the home of my tenant?
Man,
we're the FBI. If you need to see any badges or talk to any of our supervisors.
That's quite fine, but now I feel like I may need a lawyer present if you entered the premises.
Ma'am, at this point, we're under the guise of the less information, the better. And as you may understand, with these kinds of circumstances, with acts of terrorism as it may be.
Terrorism?
Correct.
Have you even heard of ISIS?
ISIS?
You have no idea what we're looking into, and I promise it's for the safety of everyone you could possibly love.
One of my tenants was involved in terrorism?
Look, we can't discuss exactly what he was involved in.
Both of you guys roll persuade.
This turned out so bad.
I got a dead 4. She can suck my cock.
Where's Agent Parker? When you need...
Got a 76.
76 and a 4.
I'm leading the investigation. I got a 4.
4. 76. I think this is heating up to a level where I would feel much, much more comfortable if I had my attorney present. I apologize. I would be happy to give you any information on my tenant, but any information about my restaurant or anything like that, I am not too interested in sharing at this time.
We understand.
We apologize for the pressing into your restaurant, and we respect your right to reserve that information. But anything you could give us on Mr. Maya, we'd appreciate. And we just want to let you know, we're only looking into the restaurant because of the state of his home, and we thought it affected your restaurant.
If you did go into his home... Joe's making a roll. I would truthfully like to see any kind of warrant that you had for that. Just so I can have it for my personal records.
Yeah, of course. We can get that to you. I'd need to have it faxed over to this location. It came in through the court office.
Roll law or bureaucracy?
Fuck.
We're dealing with a civilian.
You said the fax, right? Come on, the fax was a good call.
Roll law or bureaucracy?
Hang on. What do I got? This is turning into a shit fest.
Agent Parker's bringing that over.
Yeah. I almost sneezed like 4 times. Let that be known.
On purpose?
Oh no.
In a row?
Oh Jesus Christ!
In a row?
Let's fucking go. A 17 on a 30.
On what, bureaucracy or
On
law?
bureaucracy.
Okay, as long as I get that by the end of this, that's fine.
Absolutely. As soon as we're finishing up this conversation, I should be able to make a phone call and have this sent over. Ma'am, I apologize for this, the nature of the conversation. But regarding Thomas Meyer, do you have any information regarding his line of work?
I didn't talk with Thomas much at all.
Understood. How long was he staying at your residency?
3.5 years, I would say.
Did he ever have company over?
No, not that I noticed at least, but I also don't reside there. I'm only there whenever I'm operating in the restaurant.
Understood. And relatively good tenant, payments on time.
Always on time, yeah, I would say.
No complaints.
No, not at all.
Never any activity that bothered you? Smells?
No smells, no disturbance reports, nothing like that, no.
Couple crispy towels.
We noticed that there were 2 mailboxes, and your neighbor, we don't have much of any information on there. Is she still residing in the premises?
Janice Brown, yes.
Yes. And she is still residing there?
She is.
Awesome. Trying to think of a way to phrase the question. How often do you tend to reside on premises or frequent the premises? Once monthly, weekly?
Whenever I'm operating in the restaurant below.
So kind of GMing, or are you more on the
I'm
books?
the head chef. I'm the owner.
Oh, so you're there most frequently?
Almost every day when
Okay.
it's operating.
Okay,
Yeah.
just for curiosity's sake.
Terrorism.
That is correct.
In what capacity?
Miss, I don't know if you understand what terrorism is, but a bunch of people get together and they decide they want to blow something up. And we're trying to get information from you, and you're kind of stonewalling us.
Stonewalling you? I'm trying my best to...
Listen, we wouldn't have set up this impromptu meeting if we wanted to go through the legal channels and do everything by the books. If you knew how the FBI actually got down on a daily basis, it might keep you up at night. But just know that we keep the nation running, and there wouldn't be an America here without us.
Roll persuade.
Not intimidate. Not intimidate.
There is no intimidation.
Come on.
He was like, we don't want to overwhelm her.
Came in crazy.
39
On a...
50.
Just let me know how I can help. I wish I could tell you more about Thomas, but he really didn't interact with me much.
Agent Garfield. Let's just...
I thought he was Agent Knowles.
It's... nicknames.
You promised you wouldn't call me that when we were interrogating her.
Come on, Garf. Yeah, we go back.
Listen, miss. We're trying to protect possibly the whole United States at this point. When I asked you about your restaurant, I was just wondering if he
I have
affected
no
your
involvement
business.
with him.
I wasn't
My
saying
restaurant
that.
has no involvement with him. Whatever he did is
Yeah,
on
and if
him.
you let me finish your sentence, you would have heard what I said and not jump to conclusions. I was saying if he affected your business, not if you were involved with him.
He didn't affect my business. I had nothing to do with him. He was a tenant. I
All
had
right.
for 3.5 years. I had nothing to do with him, and he had nothing to do with me.
All right. And I never said you did. And you acting nervous is kind of seeming like you are.
You're talking to
So-
me about terrorism and America and protecting and all these things.
Quoting your liberal biblicisms.
You know when you rent property to anyone, they could be anyone, right? And if they happen to be a criminal...
That's not my liability.
Yes, it is.
She stands up. She stands up. I want my attorney present in any conversations that happen here after.
It doesn't seem like you'll be needed much in any capacity.
Am I being detained?
No, ma'am.
No.
You're free to go at any moment.
If you need to get in contact with me, I will give you the number of my attorney.
Understood.
She stands up and she kind of like looks at you guys for a second.
I just have my hand in my face right now. Like,
I'm paying her no mind. I'm eating donuts.
She walks out.
let her go. As she walks out, actually, I kind of just look through the curtain and be like, yeah, she's just heading straight for the door.
She walks straight for the door.
Yeah.
And you get a text on your phone.
What's it say?
It is from Agent Gauze, and it says, "We wrapped up. We're heading back." So
I just,
Was that the note? Was that the note you had?
Yeah.
I just shut my flip phone and go, oh, what the fuck? They're going to love this.
Well, she was a bitch.
Galleon and
You
Gauze,
fucked that one up, Garf.
You
Was
got-
that the note?
Yeah, it was. It was. I'll read the note verbatim. I don't want to interrupt them, but can I send them a text that we're done with our interview once we get back to the car? You guys make your way back to the car. Gauze sends that text, and you guys head back to the station.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, back to the station. For the next... it took you guys a while to get to Samantha's house.
It was like
maybe about
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that happens over here?
I'm just
Sitting in
dumb-
silence.
I'm
Sitting in
just
silence in the
dumbstruck.
conference room. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I'm just...
Dude, we're pulling off like big dicks in a
Yeah.
locker room. Like,
Oh,
shit,
dude,
went, shit went swimmingly. How'd it go for you fellas?
Just about as good as I expected.
It can happen to anybody.
5 minutes go by in the conference room. Anything? Do you guys talk at all?
Sorry if I fucked that up. I didn't know how to approach her, but she didn't like me.
I don't think the starting off with the dump oven upstairs was a good call.
Does anything occur on these 45 minutes sitting in this conference room?
No, that was good.
Just
though.
shocked silence.
What do you guys do? What do you guys do for 45 minutes?
We just fucking eat donuts and fucking...
He's just smoking cigarettes and drinking a box of Mo by himself.
I go to the evidence room and get some fucking Molly. Like, what do you want me to do?
Sitting in...
Yo, what music's on in the car ride, like, back to the station?
Oh, are you driving or am I? I'm probably driving. So
You're-
it's a
yeah,
RAV4, right?
yeah.
I had the keys. That's up to you. Co-pilot does the music.
Dude, it's got to be some, like... It's the final countdown. Like, just some pump-up shit, you know what I mean?
Listen to fucking Power 104.
Dude, I love it.
Asia, the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
Yo,
Oldies.
there's gonna be such a
It's that.
funny short.
Pour some sugar on me
Like a hair metal.
in the name of love.
There's gonna be such a funny fucking short of like me doing like the America speech in the middle of the, and then just us sitting in the fucking conference room, sad eating.
I hate to cite this 'cause I feel like I've cited it before, but there's a very, very funny Longmont Potion Castle clip where he calls someone, and it was all I could think about. He calls someone, he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" She's like, "Pretty good. What's going on?" He's like, "I'd like to talk to you about gangs." That was all I could think of, and he was like, "Are you familiar with terrorism, man?" I was like, "Oh my god!"
I can see that scene so well, like animated. Like you're like going through the fucking speech, you're holding the flag up, like fucking triumphant.
Like a
And-
bunch
and-
of people
and then it's
got
just-
together and they want to blow something up.
And then it's just smash cut to like just you two sitting there eating fucking donuts and drinking coffee.
Dude, and
It's like, here's the number for my attorney.
fucking cunt, bro.
it flips so quick too. He was like, "Have you heard of ISIS?" It's like, oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah.
If intimidation checks were a thing, you would have killed it. I'm sorry, it was spot on.
That's why I brought it up. I said, why isn't there an intimidation check?
45 minutes pass of a pervasive rumination, this silence that hangs like a meat hook with a pig carved through the center in the conference room of Tampa PD. 45 minutes pass before Gauze and Galleon pull up in the RAV4. What are you guys doing?
Well, let's get in there and tell them the good news. I'm sure they got some too.
Oh yeah, brother.
Let's get in there.
Let's get in there. Yo, I got my notes. We gave her the phone number. I think I gave you Angel Clark's phone number. We got a lot of work to do, and I think they're going to be right there with us.
Yeah, we'll give them the notes. They'll give us their notes.
Yeah,
and
we'll have a nice powwow.
Yeah,
I hope there's some coffee left. I hope she didn't drink it all.
She's probably in there for a while. They didn't text me back, so they might still be interviewing.
Oh, did you text them and let them know we're on our way?
Them, yeah.
Oh, cool. So they're expecting us. They're probably prepped and ready.
I mean, if they didn't text me back, they might still be interviewing her. We should check.
Yeah, maybe. We'll check in with the desk. We'll see if she's still there.
Yeah.
You guys.
I am fucking face down on the desk.
You guys walk into Tampa PD to see the receptionist behind the desk, and he kind of like looks up as you guys enter.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey.
Our partners in there were
My friend's in there.
Bumble buddy. My friend's in there.
it's their first time on their own. Congrats. I know they were conducting a little bit of an interview. Do you know if they finished up yet?
I believe they have, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. So we're good to head back?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Awesome. Right. Is the conference door shut?
The conference room door is shut.
Okay. Just give it a... Hey, guys.
Yeah.
We good to come in?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was coming home and...
Open the door. I want Justin and Ant to describe what they see when they walk in.
So I'm sitting at the furthest point from Ant at this point. And you see me on my flip phone that has been prescribed to me, and I am playing a Snake IO on my flip phone. Hand in face, just looking at Snake IO.
I turned the projector in the room on, and I'm playing Medieval Tunes to Plot Your Revenge 2 playlist on YouTube. Gotcha. And I'm just sitting there like fucking like I got my like I'm like barely using the chair.
Gonzo and Garfield, you enter a scene of dejection.
Hey, long interview?
Something like that. Let's what do you
Short
got?
and brutal.
She didn't drink
Just
all
like
the...
my mother.
She didn't...
You're fucking kidding.
Not mom.
Bless her heart. But she's a volatile woman. Short and brutal. Maron.
What?
Yo.
What happened?
Bitch doesn't care about America. I don't fucking know. That's what happened.
Oh, God.
Fucking stupid bitch doesn't give a shit about America blowing up. Fuck her.
Did you get anything?
Oh, I found out that bitch doesn't like America.
Besides her patriotism, what else did you get?
She just wasn't really willing to give us anything without a lawyer.
A lawyer? She wanted to lawyer up?
Yeah.
What happened that she wanted to lawyer up?
Look.
I thought we were keeping it casual.
The details aren't that important right now. What do you got for us?
I have some notes, but all in all say it went really well.
Yeah, we got a lot out of Samantha.
One thing I will say is Ravina is always there, or at least before the restaurant shut down. She's the head chef, so she's there Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I figured that. When I looked up the restaurant website, it was listed that she was the owner and proprietor of the restaurant.
Yeah, but I wasn't expecting her to, being a realtor, I guess, I wasn't expecting her to also be a head chef.
Well, she owns the building. She's probably just doing it for some side income. Did you Does she live there too? Did she have the spot across the hall?
No, so apparently the other apartment is still occupied from what we found.
Did you get that person's information?
The only things we really got is she was really tight-lipped about the restaurant and offended, which could mean many things and doesn't really tell us too much. But she didn't really seem to have any connection with Maya, and I don't think the bugs are in her restaurant from what she was saying, or
I
it's
mean,
You
unclear.
think it got shut down for another reason?
I don't know what other reason it could have been.
I mean,
Pretty unlikely. I mean,
if
there's
it is
gotta be
the
something
if
in
it is
there.
the bug,
I mean,
she's
if
really
it had
embarrassed.
another issue and bugs,
She didn't want to
Maybe.
talk
probably
about
should have
it.
got.
I think we should look into
That
the
makes
health.
sense.
I think we should look into talking to the health inspection board over her
That'd be a good idea.
because
Yeah.
she's not willing to help us. So I think we need to go over her head.
Yeah, I mean, we have quite a bit of material here. Most importantly, I mean, if you want to take you talk to her most, I have my notes here, but yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, basically, talked to Samantha. Tom was pretty unremarkable, highly trained in chemistry, master's degree, 7 years industrial experience. Came on over,
I got it all.
worked at Fulvio for 15 years.
Yeah, can we, for the sake of brevity,
Yeah,
we did all.
we
in the
did
Yeah,
week.
for the
that.
sake
Two
of brevity,
recaps. Cool.
you catch each other
Okay,
up. And
cool.
also, I mean, to just say, you guys did get the other tenant's name.
It was Savannah, I thought.
Nah, it was Janice
Savannah,
Brown.
Janice
I think.
Brown.
Janice. Savannah. Janice.
Janice Brown?
Yeah, it was Janice Brown.
Do you tell them that too?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if
I got
heard
what
it
I
during
got.
that or before.
I
I
was
didn't wanna say
laughing my
anything.
ass off through all that. I apologize. Yeah, that was so
Um,
funny.
I had
So at this point, we're rounding like two,
probably
2:15.
almost like 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I was gonna say
our
like
meeting was
2:45,
5
3 o'clock.
Yeah, like 3 o'clock at this point.
I was,
after you guys catch everybody up.
I was gonna make like a really fun. Well, did you offer her the coffee? Did you offer her the box of Mo?
She didn't even take one dog nut.
I got her a Boston cream dog nut.
Bitch didn't want a
She
fucking
didn't, she didn't need a
Boston cream.
single one.
Not
That's
even
crazy.
a Georgian Crullaire.
Georgian Crullaire.
No, but just to kind of bounce off. Oh my god. I mean, for the sake of brevity, we give them the recap.
Yeah.
I would say starting like there and what that pertains to, and then that part of it is probably the most worthwhile source material.
Yeah, I'll actually do that in character.
That's
Yeah.
why I handed it.
Yeah. So, most important thing we got, login information for the private network over at Fulvio. So we can go there, get into Thomas's computer, see what he's working on that laptop, because that laptop was hooked up to that network too. And also, I mean, we got Sebastian Clark, the security guard's information, his wife's information. Figure we give her a call and maybe just touch base, say if you need anything, we're here. Don't really pry too much. I'm sure she's having a tough time.
Yeah, we just figured maybe if Sebastian had mentioned anything in our interview with Samantha, she had said that she had no knowledge of Sebastian knowing Tom in any way, shape, or form, but she also told us that, as mentioned before, he would have had to have let him in. So either through, flashing his credentials, or maybe he knew him more than Samantha knew that he knew him. It's just a worthwhile, call, tie up a loose end kind of deal. So,
At the very least, just touch base and provide an outlet for her. Give her our information.
yeah.
Well, I don't have a very good track record with people.
Yeah, I think we'll
today.
give her a call.
Yeah. So maybe we just give her a quick call, and then we can head over to Fulvio and maybe tap into this network a little bit.
Sure.
Do think we should make a note of trying. How bad did the interview go?
Awful.
I don't want to talk about
Would
it.
you call her a loose end at this point?
I don't want to talk about it.
You need to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to talk about it.
No, she's not a loose end.
She's not a loose end.
All right.
No.
She's just pissed off, and we shouldn't involve her anymore.
You don't
We-
think you don't think
yeah.
she's gonna go to the
Nah,
news
she's got
outlets
no
or anything
need.
like that?
She's got no need to. And even if she does, I mean,
I
what
think
information we gave her is not like it can't be easily found.
I think she just didn't want to be involved in anything, and if we don't involve her further, it'll go away. But she'll be kept in on our radar, and maybe we'll check in on her before we leave.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I mean,
I have no reason to not believe what you're saying.
yeah. What did you mention about Thomas? Like, just why were you what were you asking her?
I put under the cover that he was working for terrorist organizations to try and get more information.
She didn't like the terrorist angle.
She didn't like.
She got offended. It was fucking weird.
You didn't tell her we were in the apartment or anything, right?
Unfortunately, I did.
Oh man.
We're the FBI.
Yeah.
Let's just say
We didn't really get into there through legal means, and she does own the property.
let's just say we hope
It's her
she
word
doesn't
against
come
2
looking
FBI
for it.
agents at this
That's
point.
very well. You're not an FBI.
If you think any normal citizen in their right mind would try to take on the FBI,
We're not FBI.
it says, listen, we use our FBI cover, and we kill her if we need to. Justin already wants to burn down the house, so who the fuck cares if she's in it?
This is not good.
No, this doesn't sound really good.
Look,
It's definitely not optimal.
She could go to the news.
Do we have an
for what?
Do we have an address on her?
I mean,
On her?
we could take her out.
I'm
Yeah.
sure we could find it. Maybe the health department.
Need a little stakeout.
I mean, if you said to her that we were in the apartment, she's probably gonna go look at it. She's probably gonna go there. We can probably find her there, pick up a tail, and follow her home.
All right, I'll go scope it out.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, we can go see if she's
she would
gonna
have
go
to
take a
call
look.
here, right?
For what?
Well, yeah, why would she have to call?
If she were to report anything as far as the legality of what was done, she would have to call here, right?
Not
She could
necessarily. She could call her
call-
lawyer.
Well, no,
Lawyer.
she could call a lawyer,
She
but
could
at some
call
point
the-
they would have to go through Tampa PD.
Or, no, they could just go straight to
I'm
the
pretty
DOA.
sure she
Or
was
not
too
the DOA,
scared to
the,
do anything.
I'm just saying, if she goes public with the fact that 4 FBI agents searched a
You know how
property
many-
she owns without a warrant,
You know how many crazy bitches go to the All right, and if she does, they're gonna go check the FBI agents, and guess how many FBI agents went to a house? 0.
but we did.
We were never there. We don't exist.
All right, if she calls the FBI and says Agent Kevin Knowles came to my
Yeah, I
house, they're
mean-
gonna say, "You crazy bitch, we don't have a Kevin Knowles."
That's a good point.
Yeah.
They're gonna make her roll sanity. All right, let's stay on task.
We'll keep an eye on her. She'll be on radar. Definitely wasn't our best bit.
But
We'll
if
clean
she-
it up if we have to.
If she goes there, she goes next to here to ask about who those guys were that interviewed her.
That's not a... That,
Should we get Perez?
I was gonna say
on-
it might be
ahead of it?
might be worthwhile to ask Perez to maybe screen those calls and let us know if she does. That's a really good test to see if she's trustworthy.
That's true. You keep wanting to test her. That's a test for her.
Well, I'm already in the doghouse with her, so somebody else should have that conversation.
Why don't we ask Perez if she'll do
Gauze,
surveillance for us?
you seem like a prime candidate for this one.
I can give it a shot.
All right, let me go ask the guy at the desk to get Perez into the conference room. You guys stay here.
Give me 1 second. let me think about what I'm going to say here.
That's cool. Take your time.
Yeah.
While he's thinking about what he's doing, I'll go to the desk. The guy who's at the counter.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say, hey, no rush. It's nothing emergent. But before we get out of here, we just want to touch base with Captain Perez. If you wouldn't mind sending her to the conference room with me and my partners, so it'd be greatly, greatly appreciated.
Sure, she's in a meeting for another half hour or so. I'll send her in after that.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. Head back to the conference room. Hey guys, Prez is in a meeting for another half hour. Why don't we game plan our next steps? And if you want to take some time to, narrow down your approach to this,
Yeah.
take as much time as you need. We got about 30 minutes.
I'm going to play some Snake IO.
Okay. So, what conversations occur over the next 30 minutes?
All right. So, how am I breaching this subject to her? Is it an interview gone bad? How much are we letting her know?
Hopefully nothing.
We're not going to let her know that.
Just say we're
Why don't we just let her know that?
we're screening calls for anything regarding her property.
Anything regarding the residence of Thomas Meyer, she's the landlord. If anything comes in, we need to be notified immediately.
And that, yeah. And
Okay.
To just take down the information and don't send anybody out regarding
And-
it.
Just say she was combative as soon as we brought up anything regarding Thomas Meyer.
I would say
We could outline her as a suspect.
anti-authority.
We could. Anti-authority. possible. I mean, they're trying to keep this quiet, so they've shown that they're willing to keep it quiet for us.
I would almost take the angle, if you guys want to recap maybe what.
Let's not recap anything.
No. I'm saying you two as a collective. If you wanted to recap how it went, maybe spin it in the way that she was bringing up some pretty erratic topics that sounded concerning. She mentioned things like terrorism and things like ISIS that were raising some red flags.
I think we could just.
You gave me that information, right? I didn't just. Okay.
Yeah. I think we could outline her as a suspect, and ask if Perez can spare any. If she could spare herself for personal surveillance on the subject,
Right.
Or if she's not willing to do that, if she could spare a unit to do that.
Right. I mean,
But I don't know if we want to involve unnamed officers, because I'm trying to also use the situation to deem Perez's worthiness.
I think it's more if she could put out some
feelers.
Maybe some hey, if you receive a call from this person, please notify this PD immediately as it pertains to the Thomas Meyer case that's being handled at a higher level at
Even
this
if
point.
it's different PDs.
Yep, exactly.
She can call her friends. Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
All right,
let's
do
do
it.
that. Well, so we'll just wait for her.
Why don't we map out our next steps
true.
before she comes in? So I think it's important that we go to Fulvio. We can access this network remotely, but I think it would be beneficial if we were on site when we accessed it, so that way if we do get any sort of list of chemicals, things like that, we can kind of assess them in real time, maybe see what exactly he was destroying when he went into the building, that kind of thing. We also need to touch base with
Health department,
Angel Clark at some point, the health department, and potentially the
health
tenant.
inspector.
Potentially the tenant that you guys said that she mentioned in your interview. So I don't know if anyone wants to handle something independently. While maybe two of us go over to Fulvio. I don't have an expansive knowledge of chemicals, so I don't know if I'm the best asset there, but I wouldn't mind making a couple calls.
Yeah. I think I have a decent background in chemicals and stuff like that.
Cool.
I don't know the computer side of it.
I think a
As far as
pilot
accessing-
might.
I can head over with you. We can figure it out.
You know the computer system and stuff like that?
Not necessarily, but we can figure it out.
All right, yeah.
And what are we doing?
I was going to make a couple calls. I was going to maybe reach out to Angel Clark, and then maybe you and I could head over to the premises again and maybe knock up for the neighbor.
Sure, that sounds good.
All right, cool.
So, during this conversation, it is punctuated by the knock at the door. Knock, 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 knock.
Go up and answer the door.
Open the door to see Christina Perez, Captain, looking at you. I was requested.
Yeah, hello, Captain Perez. I motioned the table. Dog nut?
I'm quite all right, thank you.
All right.
Bro, that got me.
Cup of Mo?
Dog nut?
I'm sorry. We're very gracious for all the accommodations you've made for us so far. Sorry, we have a bit of a favor to ask you.
Favor.
Yeah, sorry. We have a person of interest in our investigation, maybe calling around the area. We just want to have any of those calls screened and forwarded over to us, if possible. One,
Ravenna
Michelle's.
Calls to the area 911.
Area PDs, probably not emergency.
In what regards?
Typical complaints. She was a little combative when we started interviewing her regarding her restaurant and the tenant above.
Why was she combative?
It seemed like she took it a little personal when we talked about the health inspection notice we found on site.
So she would be calling for what exactly?
More against the authority, more of a way to get back at us. Maybe creating some fake stories or so.
Yeah, we just think it's going to jam us up, and we're working on like a timetable here. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion in these matters.
Absolutely. Don't worry about it.
Thank you very much.
We'll screen it. We'll make sure.
If you could put out feelers to other PDs in the area,
I can try.
that'd be amazing.
Absolutely.
We'd be indebted to you.
We'll keep our eyes out for anything like that. How's the investigation proceeding thus far?
Going well. We got some promising leads. thanks to your reports, we spoke with Samantha Clemens. Yeah, it's been going well.
Rough timeline on how long you're going to be here?
Not sure yet. We have a can of worms to crack into soon here. We're going to go after this.
All right, well, let me know if there's anything else that you need, but I'll keep my eyes out for anything from this Miss Michelle's. And yeah, I'll reach out to a couple other PDs, see if they can keep their eyes out too.
All right. We appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely. She gives you a nod and walks back out.
I think that went well.
Yeah, I think she's with it. I think
Yeah.
she's with the...
No, she seems definitely on board. All right, so if you two wanted to get rolling, I think we could place our calls from the conference room, and then we'll probably get rolling over to the premises of Thomas Meyer, see if we can get in contact with his neighbor.
Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah, I mean, how far is Thomas Myers from here? It's not too far, right? Like 30 minutes?
About 45.
45? You guys could probably call on the way. Save a little time.
I don't want to be driving and talking on
No?
Bluetooth. It's silly. Yeah,
All right.
we'll take a couple minutes and
All right.
maybe get a breather.
Sure thing.
So, what's the split? Who's going where? Who's doing what?
Yeah. Gauze and Gonzo are headed over to Fulvio.
Okay. In the Rav or the Kona?
Probably the Rav. I have the keys for the Rav.
Okay. So, Gauze and Gonzo making your way into the Rav and making your way to Fulvio. About I would put it more like a 35-minute drive. What are you guys doing on the drive there? 35 minutes go by.
So you said that we got the password to this thing. I mean, is there any way we could break into his personal computer? I don't know if anything's not going to be on the cloud drive.
Yeah, she said that his personal is hooked up to the network that he was working on. He was working at home. That computer that was all smashed up, all that stuff's probably all saved in this database.
Perfect.
From what she explained to me. I don't know. I'm not too good with that stuff, but
I mean,
that's
can
how
log
she
in.
explained it to me.
That's all we really need to do, and then we can kind of mess around with the files and see what we come up with.
Yeah.
We head over. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said.
Nope. So, you guys make your way over. You see Fulvio and Nade. Same as you've seen it before, kind of demolished building with the tape up and the cones. I've explained this before, just kind of how it's set up with the big bust out of the top right corner there. Where do you guys park?
It's all cordoned off, right? Still, that whole street is.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get through the cordons?
You would have to drive through tape. Or, I'm sorry.
Or get out and move the tape?
Or move barriers. There's actually barriers up, not
Oh,
tape.
it's like barriers?
Yeah.
Like the picket fence ones?
No, like the plastic
The
ones.
yeah, the
well,
plastic
fuck
orange
that.
ones,
Yeah.
saddles.
I'm just gonna park outside of them. We'll
Okay.
walk in.
Easy enough. Park outside. Walk
There's
in.
nothing in the Rav, right? Everything that's in the Kona.
Yes, correct. Making your way up the street, up that sidewalk, you see the front entrance of Fulvio and Nade. What do you do?
Walk up, open the
Yeah,
door.
just walk in, open the door. Anything seem out of place from last time we were here?
No, nothing seems different than the last time you were here.
Yeah.
Open up the door, step inside. You see that reception area. Off to the right is like a set of different doors and offices. Off to the left, where you remember Thomas Meyer and Samantha Clemens' offices. And then the stairs leading up to the testing areas above.
I don't know about you, but I'm not too keen on spending a lot of time in Thomas's.
No, yeah. Let's just
With that-
set it
with
up
that
by
smell?
the reception.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not. Let's go to Clemens' office.
That works too.
Yeah.
Start heading over.
Walking into Samantha Clemens' office, like I mentioned before last time you guys were in here, there's some personal effects that show photos of her, and now that you've seen her husband, you notice that the other person in some of these photos are her husband, as well as a child that's there as well. Some other filing cabinets and stuff like that, and her computer is posted up there as well.
Okay. I will head over to the computer with the login information that she had given me.
Okay. Logging in with T. Meyer. Enter. Down to the password. What's the password?
Lang33 LH.
Lang 33 LH. Enter. Spinner comes up, loading. Pop, and it opens up to a desktop.
All right. What's on the desktop?
Desktop seems to be several folders, as well as different programs that seem to be used for different things. A couple of Excel files there as well.
Nothing but Discord.
What
Weird.
What happens if I go into the internet?
You open up the internet and it opens up to a splash screen for Internet Explorer.
Any like favorites? Any tabs?
No favorites, no bookmarks, no history.
Nothing.
History's been cleared
Damn.
also.
All right. I guess I'll look at the names of the stuff on the desktop then, like the Excel stuff in the
So
folders.
the Excel sheets seem to be named in some sort of numerical code. I need you to roll computer science for me.
Can I also
It's a
roll?
0.
Can I also roll?
Do you help him? Do you guide him in any way?
Yeah, I just kind of look over his shoulder and kind of glancing. So if anything,
Go ahead. You can roll.
I got a 91 on a 0.
yeah, I also have a 0. So let's fail and take my catch. 26.
So, I will say, with an analysis of his computer, you guys aren't really adept with computers, and it's kind of obvious at this point as you're going through them. There's different databases, different files, different directories, and as you're kind of trying to navigate, you're finding it hard to kind of get information out of this. However, what you are able to figure out is different files and different folders and different, like I said, Excel, Word, different documents. You go through maybe about like 2-3 dozen of them. You're able to extrapolate the following information. He has been obviously working on, and you've already known this, a synthesization process and project that's based out of Testing Room 3, working with an AI-generated pheromone sequencing program. He's part of the R&D program. He works in the R&D department. The one thing that you do notice is you open up his intra-company email. Mentions a lot of new products. It seems like he's been emailing Samantha Clemens rarely, maybe like once every 3 or so months, about this. He's talking about different new products that he's trying out, different new products that he's making. And you also see correspondence that relates to this Lang 33. Seems like leading up to what you believe to be that quarterly meeting that they had, where he has information where he's trying to give her about, hey, this is the new scent that I made. Here's, the components of it. Here's this, here's that. Now, the specifics of what you're able to get is the following. He created this scent off of this random AI generation program, which you're not able to find any kind of program that actually does that on his computer. 2 months ago, he made it. He's very excited about it. Any kind of emails that he sends about it, he's very, very, enthusiastic about the information itself. The other thing that you're able to find out is that there's a file there that is titled Synthesization Records. And it seems to be a hard-coded, not edited by him in any way, but hard-coded based off of different machinery that's around. And because you guys failed the computer science role, it's kind of hard to tell certain things. But it has a record of the different times that someone has synthesized certain products with those machinery pieces that are there.
So time, excuse me. So there are timestamps.
Yes.
What are those timestamps? Like, is it daily, monthly, weekly?
They are, it's roughly weekly. So you're able to extrapolate off of this particular file that this user, T. Meyer, has synthesized this, and it's referenced in this database as Lang 33, 3 milliliters, 5 times between March 23rd and April 2nd. And he's also synthesized 1 liter 2 times between April 16th and April 26th. And then the last is that you see that he has synthesized 5 liters 4 times, May 1st through the 3rd.
Sorry. The dates. It was 1 liter how many times?
1 liter twice between April 16th and April 26th.
16th to the 26th, and then it was March 23rd to what?
March 23rd to April 2nd.
Okay, thank you. Following up on looking through his emails, and going back to the dates on his notes, is there any changes in the way that his messages are from in kind of around those times where his notes also changed?
No, so there is not much of a change. However, you do notice that he has not corresponded with anyone off of intercompany email since April 27th. The final thing that you're able to extrapolate off of all the documents on his computer is that Lang 33, off of the sequencing that has happened, is made up of no non-perfume chemical components. There is nothing odd about it. All of it seems to be scents. Lang 33 is simply a mixture of different scents. Pre-synthesized, pre-made, pre-extrapolated scents.
And we would know that based off of both of our backgrounds, like what kind of seems standard.
It's just noted as scents. There's no chemical names or anything like that.
Right. Okay.
And
so
also
we
carrying
can't
over
see-
any kind of chemical knowledge that Gauze has as well.
So it's not that they could be, it's that we know that they're not.
Sandalwood base, clementine base.
Yeah, it doesn't have
all
like
these-
a chemical makeup
no,
of
all
what
these,
it is.
All these, they're pre-synthesized scents.
Okay. So it's not that we don't know what they are.
And it's hard for you guys to extrapolate any kind of information about the AI sequencing project that he has. But the one thing that you're able to see is you see that, and then you see some other examples of pre-synthesized scents based off of this AI sequencing, and all of them just seem to be mixtures of scents. No chemicals involved. Just this scent in this capacity with this scent in this other capacity. Sandalwood plus base tones of mandarin orange in this
I'd
amount.
go onto the internet and check Google or Gmail, Yahoo, whatever kind of the most common emails are. Is there any like what's the word I'm looking for? Like immediate sign in, like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
No, there's no like saved passwords or anything like that.
Okay.
In all those synthesization records, is there any way to search to the last one, the most recent?
Of times that something has been synthesized.
Of any, like whatever was last synthesized.
The latest from Thomas Meyer, which this only has records of Thomas Meyer, was May 3rd.
May 3rd, and that was Ahlin 33?
Yeah.
So nothing from that night.
Looking through the records, there was no changes to the chemical formula between the three synthesis.
I'm not going to be able to give you that information because of your computer science role.
Okay.
I had one more thing. Wow, I just lost it. I got it back. Can I go into the search bar?
Yep.
And type in... let me just type in mask.
Mask. Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
Deception. Anything.
Nope. Nothing pre-populates.
All right. That was the last thing I had.
I type in bomb.
Nothing pre-populates.
No. Okay.
What's the conversation between you two during this?
I'm not getting much out of this.
Yeah,
I'm not good with this computer stuff.
I mean, I can get on the internet, but I mean, going through this kind of data, this isn't up my alley.
No. I want the...
I mean,
I wonder if we can figure out how to print this stuff out.
I mean, would Samantha know anything about this? Could we show her?
I'd imagine, yeah.
I mean, that seems like our only angle into getting any information out of this.
Yeah, we could have her...
At least review the data and be like, hey, can you tell us if anything's changed over here? You could be our witness expert on this, or a subject matter expert.
Maybe we could go into it under the pretense that he was making a bomb. Because it doesn't make sense. Like, why would we be interested in what perfume he's making?
That's my point exactly. And the only information that we can gather from this is that he started ramping up production towards May, and that would line up if he's trying to make enough for an explosion.
Yeah, maybe we can play dumb and say, hey, he's making a lot of this stuff. Is this like just perfume, or is this an explosive? What's the difference here?
Yeah, I think she's going to be our best angle for getting any
Yeah.
information out of this.
So she has access to this, I believe. So we can probably just make that a phone call.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't think we're going to get much more out of this, just us staring at
No,
it.
just looking at it. No, I don't think so. Did say testing lab 3. Is that the one that's blown up? I don't
Pretty
remember.
sure.
We can go up there and look.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if he's synthesizing out of that, all the chemicals in there, nothing looked out of the normal. The only other weird thing is when we first got here, I checked out the janitor closet, and there's definitely some chemicals missing from there, too.
Yeah. And I think that
And maybe Samantha knows something about any other chemicals that could create an explosion based off of what's in here. I mean, we can ask her what she stocked in the janitor closet.
yeah, we could do that. I mean, the explosion kind of is what we need to talk about with her. That's like kind of the guys we need to be under.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. We can definitely try to do that here in a little bit. Maybe we're kind of at a dead end here, I think.
Yeah.
So
We're going to need some more information from her end, I think.
let's
to
touch
move
base
forward.
with the other guys and
Go from there.
go from there, yeah.
So, heading out of Fulvio and Aid.
And back to the car.
So, half of G-Cell makes their way back to the car as the other half prepares to go back in time and do their phone calls. When we pick up next session.
Thank you for listening to this installment of 12 Gauge, a Nasty Table production.